Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Modular, the Warframe Augment review series. We're carrying on with our run through of Mag's augments as part of Mag Week. So today we're going to take a look at one for our third ability Polarize, and that is Shield Transference. Like Greedy Pool, you can pick this up from either Perrin or New Loka by rising to their max rank and spending 25,000 standing on it. Like Greedy Pool though, Shield Transference is a pretty simple augment. What it does, it will convert 50% of the shields depleted from Polarize into Overshield. Much like Overshield from any other source, they can't exceed 1,200 additional shields on top of her total shields. The amount that is added to Mag's Overshields, the 50% on the mod guard, is also affected by power strength, means that with the right build you can get a very large amount of Overshields restored to you for every cast of Polarize. I didn't really put the build in my Greedy Pool video, just because I don't actually have a build for it at all. For Shield Transference though, I do. I have 4 Former on Mag in total, but the build I run is Corrosive Projection in the Aura, got Transient Fortitude, Power Drift for Power Strength, Streamline for a bit of efficiency, Prime Flow Quick Thinking as my survivability, Stretch for extra range, Prime Continuity for more duration on the Polarize wave, and then the Shield Transference as the augment, which also helps with survivability. With this build, keeping yourself topped up at max overshields at all times against shielded units is really not difficult at all, while doing a lot of damage and being pretty good all-round build. So do I think the augment's worth the mod slot it needs to fit it, or is it worth the standing cost to buy it? And you know what? It's not that bad an augment, it's just a bit too situational for my liking. The problem is that Mag got a rework to the frame, which means that her Polarize became useful against both armor and shield, rather than just shield like she used to be. But the augment didn't really get a bit of a go-over, so it's still only useful against shields, which limits it to either being only good against the Corpus or against the Void enemies. Now, I'd have loved to have seen the augment get a little bit of a buff, giving it the same usability against armoured units as the shielded ones. Or even if it got only, like, I don't know, a 50% efficiency at max on, like, the armoured targets, just to give it some use outside of those two factions. I'm not going to turn around though and say it's a bad augment, because actually it's not. And it can give Mag a ton more survivability in those missions where she can exploit the removal of enemy shields. I would just like it to be a bit more universal is all. One idea I had was maybe that a percentage of the shards created from stripping armor off enemies could almost form like a layer of armor on Mag, giving her additional protection. To be honest, the mod could even work in a similar way that the shield buff does, where it just converts the armor stripped into additional shields for her without using any of the shards at all. It would really help to make it a bit more universal, but still have limitations against the infested, and that's fine, but having almost no use against some of the factions is not that helpful. I'd love to hear your suggestions on how you would go about buffing this augment, or if you feel that it needs it at all. It is not a terrible augment by any means, it's just very situational. Great against stuff with shields, useless against those without. If you don't mind having an augment for a frame that only deals with shields, then this is going to work well for you. If not, then perhaps staving your standing might be your best choice. Once again, I'm a little bit behind on videos, I'm sorry about that. Barrow video and Fracturing Crush video coming tomorrow. Suit up on Sunday for sure. I hope you're enjoying this look at Mag's augments so far, and I hope to see you all in the next video.